Welcome to my channel. What if I told you that the life you are waiting for may never arrive because happiness was never hiding at the end of the road? What if the person you are trying so hard to become is already carrying everything needed to begin? Think about that for a moment. Every morning, millions of people wake up believing that their real life will start later. They say, "When I earn more, I will relax. When I become successful, I will feel proud. When people respect me, I will feel valuable. When my problems disappear, I will finally enjoy life." But years pass, goals change, and the finish line keeps moving. Then one quiet day, a person looks back and realizes something painful. They were so busy waiting for happiness that they forgot to live. Today, I want to take you through a different way of seeing life, through 15 moments that can change the direction of your mind and possibly the direction of your entire life. The first turning point begins with a simple decision: stop fighting yourself. You do not need to love every part of yourself before you deserve peace. You only need to stop treating yourself like an enemy. You have made mistakes, missed chances, trusted the wrong people, spoken words you wish you could take back, and perhaps disappointed yourself more times than you want to remember. But a mistake is an event, not an identity. Your worst day is not your whole story. Imagine speaking to a close friend who had failed. You would probably tell them to learn, breathe, stand up, and try again. So why do you speak to yourself with words you would never use on someone you love? The second turning point comes when you realize that self-respect can exist before success. You can improve your life without insulting the person who is living it. You can say, "I have more to learn, but I am still worthy." That sentence may sound small, but it can change the atmosphere inside your mind. Now, consider another trap: living everywhere except today. Some people spend their mornings worrying about tomorrow and their nights arguing with yesterday. Their body is here, but their mind is always somewhere else. They replay an old conversation, imagine a future disaster, or build imaginary versions of a life they have not reached. Meanwhile, today quietly disappears. The third turning point is learning to return to the moment in front of you. Notice your breathing. Listen when someone speaks. Taste your food. Watch the sky. Walk without rushing. These ordinary moments are not interruptions to life. They are life. You do not need to solve next year tonight. You only need to handle today, honestly. Then comes another powerful realization. Comparison can make a beautiful life look worthless. You open your phone and see another person's new house, trip, business, relationship, body, or achievement. Suddenly, your own progress feels invisible. But you are comparing your private reality with someone else's public display. You see their photograph, not their sleepless nights. You see the result, not the years behind it. The fourth turning point arrives when you stop using another person's timeline to judge your own. Your path does not become less valuable because someone else reached a destination earlier. A seed and a tree are not failures because they are different stages of growth. Ask instead, am I becoming wiser than I was before? If yes, you are moving. If you are moving, you have reason to be proud. And then, just when you begin respecting your own journey, another door opens: gratitude. The fifth turning point is realizing that your ordinary life may contain things you once desperately wanted: a safe place to sleep, someone who cares about you, another morning, a chance to learn, the ability to start again. These can become invisible because familiarity makes precious things look normal. Gratitude does not tell you to stop dreaming. It teaches you to stop insulting the present while chasing the future. At night, ask yourself what went right today. Maybe nothing dramatic happened. Maybe you simply laughed, finished a task, helped someone, or enjoyed a peaceful minute. Collect those moments. They are not small when they become the foundation of a life. The person who learns to appreciate what already exists becomes harder for disappointment to destroy. And that is where the journey truly begins. Not with getting everything, but with finally seeing what is already in your hands. The sixth turning point appears when you understand the hidden price of carrying anger. Someone may have hurt you years ago, and even though that person has moved on, you may still be giving them space inside your head. You replay what happened, imagine what you should have said, and wish they could feel the pain they caused. But every replay charges you another emotional payment. Anger can become a chain that remains locked even after the person who hurt you has disappeared. Protecting yourself is wise. Carrying hatred forever is not. You can create distance without creating poison inside your heart. You can forgive without trusting again. Forgiveness does not erase what happened. It simply refuses to let yesterday own tomorrow. That is the sixth shift. Release what no longer deserves your energy. Then the seventh turning point comes through worry. The human mind is talented at creating disasters before they happen. You imagine losing something, failing, being rejected, getting sick, running out of money, or facing a future you cannot control. Soon, an imagined problem produces a real feeling. Your heart races over a possibility that may never exist. Worry feels like preparation, but often it is only repeated fear. The better question is, what can I actually do? If there is an action available, take it. If there is no action available today, return to today. You cannot control every event, but you can control your next useful step. This changes fear into movement. The eighth turning point comes when you stop allowing yesterday to become your permanent address. Perhaps you remember a failure and secretly believe it proves something about you. Perhaps you still regret a decision, a relationship, a missed opportunity, or a season when you did not understand what you understand now. But wisdom often arrives after the mistake, not before it. You cannot go backward and become the person you wish you had been. You can only become that person from this moment forward. Your past should be a classroom, not a courtroom. Take the lesson, leave the punishment, and continue walking. Then another discovery changes everything. Your thoughts are not commands. This is the ninth turning point. A thought can enter your mind without deserving your belief. I am not good enough is a thought, not a verdict. Everything will go wrong is a prediction, not a fact. Nobody understands me, maybe a feeling, not reality. When a painful thought appears, pause before obeying it. Ask, is this true? Is it useful? What would I tell someone I love if they were thinking this? That pause creates space between you and the emotion. In that space, you can choose your response. You may still feel sadness, anger, or fear, but those emotions no longer have to drive the vehicle. You become the person holding the steering wheel. The 10th turning point arrives when you recognize the value of people. A life filled with achievements can still feel empty if nobody is there to share the ordinary moments. Think about the person whose message can instantly improve your mood, the friend who listens without rushing, the family member who remembers the little things, or the stranger whose kindness stayed with you longer than expected. These connections are not decorations around life, they are part of its meaning. Yet relationships do not survive on love alone, they need attention. Call someone. Ask how they are. Put your phone away when they speak. Say thank you before another opportunity disappears. Do not wait for a funeral to tell someone they mattered. Give appreciation while people can hear it. And remember that meaningful connection is not about having hundreds of contacts. It is about having a few people with whom you can be real. When you begin protecting those relationships, you discover that happiness becomes less about what you own and more about who walks beside you. Suddenly, the future feels less frightening because you know that life is not a race you must finish alone. The 11th turning point begins with your body. People often ask why they feel mentally exhausted, emotionally impatient, or unable to focus, while ignoring the basic needs of the body carrying them through every day. Your mind and body are connected. When you constantly sleep too little, move too little, eat without care, and never allow yourself to rest, your emotional world can become harder to manage. You do not need a perfect routine or an extreme lifestyle. Start with simple respect. Walk, stretch, drink enough water, protect your sleep, take breaks before exhaustion forces you to stop. Give yourself moments without constant notifications. A few quiet minutes can feel surprisingly powerful in a world that never stops shouting for attention. This is not about becoming perfect, it is about giving yourself a stronger foundation. Then comes the 12th turning point, discovering that happiness grows when your effort has meaning. Imagine waking every morning, completing tasks, collecting money, meeting deadlines, and still wondering, why does this feel empty? The problem may not be laziness. It may be a lack of purpose. Purpose does not require fame. It can be teaching one person, building something useful, supporting your family, creating art, solving problems, learning a skill, serving your community, or becoming excellent at work you genuinely value. Purpose gives difficulty a reason. When you know why you are walking, a difficult road becomes easier to respect. You may not discover your purpose in one magical moment. Sometimes you find it by trying things, failing, changing direction, and paying attention to what makes you feel useful and alive. Do not wait for perfect certainty. Begin exploring. The 13th turning point is understanding that growth keeps the spirit awake. Imagine living the same year repeatedly. Same thoughts, same habits, same fears, same excuses. The calendar changes, but you do not. That can happen quietly. You become comfortable, then comfort becomes a cage. Learning breaks the cage. Read something that challenges you. Learn a language. Improve your communication. Study a subject that once seemed difficult. Ask questions. Listen to people who think differently. You do not have to transform overnight. One page, one lesson, one improved habit, one honest reflection can change your direction. Small progress becomes powerful when repeated. And every new skill whispers something important. You are still capable of becoming more. That belief creates energy. It also makes life more interesting because curiosity keeps opening doors. Then the 14th turning point arrives, and it may be the simplest one. Stop waiting for huge moments to feel alive. Many people treat ordinary days as empty spaces between important events. They are waiting for the promotion, the wedding, the vacation, the perfect home, the big celebration, or the dream achievement. But what if the real treasure is hidden inside the hours they keep calling ordinary? A cup of tea on a quiet morning, rain against a window, a joke shared with a friend, fresh air after a long day, a meal prepared by someone who cares, a peaceful walk when the world finally becomes quiet. These moments do not announce themselves as important. You have to notice them. Children understand this naturally. They can become fascinated by a puddle, a story, a game, or a tiny discovery. Adults often lose that ability because their minds become crowded with schedules and worries. You can learn it again. Slow down enough to see what is already beautiful. Happiness becomes stronger when you stop demanding that every day impress you. Not every day needs a breakthrough. Some days simply need to be lived. Some days are for progress, others are for recovery. Some days bring celebration, others bring lessons. None of them are wasted when you are present. And when you begin finding joy in ordinary moments, something unexpected happens. You no longer need your future to rescue you. Your present finally becomes worth experiencing. You start understanding that a meaningful life is not built from rare, perfect days, but from thousands of small moments you chose not to ignore. The 15th turning point completes the journey when you discover that happiness becomes deeper when it leaves your own hands and reaches someone else. For years, you may have asked, what can I get? What can I achieve? How can I make my life better? Those questions are not wrong, but they are incomplete. Add one more. What can I give? Help someone who is struggling. Encourage a person who has lost confidence. Listen without trying to win. Share what you know. Make someone laugh. Give your time when you can. Be patient with the person who is having a difficult day. Kindness does not require wealth, status, or special talent. It only requires awareness that other people are carrying invisible battles too. And when you begin helping, something changes inside you. Your problems do not magically disappear, but your world becomes larger than your problems. You begin seeing yourself as someone capable of creating good things around you. That feeling has a special kind of strength. It tells you that your life is not only about surviving your own story, it is also about improving the stories of people you touch. Think about the people you remember most. Often, you do not remember what they owned or how impressive they looked. You remember how they treated you. You remember the person who believed in you when you doubted yourself. You remember the teacher who gave you confidence, the friend who stayed when things became difficult, the stranger who helped when nobody else noticed. Their kindness became part of your story. You can become that person for someone else. But there is an important balance. Kindness should not mean destroying yourself to please everyone. You still need boundaries. You still need rest. You still need to protect your time and values. A peaceful life is not built by saying yes to every demand. It is built by choosing carefully where your energy goes. Now, look back at the 15 turning points. First, you stopped treating yourself as an enemy. Second, you returned your attention to the present. Third, you stopped measuring your life against someone else's highlight reel. Fourth, you noticed your own progress. Fifth, you practiced gratitude. Sixth, you released the burden of hatred. Seventh, you replaced endless worry with useful action. Eighth, you turned the past into a teacher. Ninth, you learned that thoughts are not commands. 10th, you protected meaningful relationships. 11th, you respected your body and mind. 12th, you searched for purpose. 13th, you chose lifelong growth. 14th, you learned to notice ordinary joy. 15th, you discovered the power of giving. None of these ideas requires you to become a different person tomorrow morning. In fact, trying to change everything at once may only create another form of pressure. Choose one lesson, practice it today, then practice it again tomorrow. Let small choices become habits. Let habits become character. Let character shape the life you experience.